Is the number 6 truly a force of evil? The surprising truth that nature and the universe reveal to us. Have you ever wondered why, throughout history and in popular culture, the number 666 is associated with evil, chaos, and darkness? Why has the figure of the number of the beast filled millions with fear and superstition? But what if I told you that this perception is completely mistaken, and that, in reality, the number 6, that simple and familiar figure, has an astonishingly positive presence in nature, in the universe, and in the very history of humanity?
Today, we invite you on a profound exploration that will change how you see numbers, geometry, and reality itself. Get ready to discover how the number 6 and its enigmatic shape are much more than symbols associated with darkness. They are, in fact, patterns of perfection, harmony, and creativity that manifest in the smallest and the largest aspects of the cosmos. Are you prepared for a journey that will challenge your beliefs and reveal the hidden secrets of universal geometry?
The hidden presence of the number 6 in nature. Ice crystals, art in the shape of a hexagon. Imagine observing snow on a cold morning. What you see is a spectacle of perfect hexagonal cells radiating in all directions. Each snowflake, with its intricate 6 arms, looks like a masterpiece of divine design. But why this shape? The answer lies in the molecular structure of ice, which adopts a hexagonal pattern for efficiency and stability. The union of water into hexagonal crystals maximizes sustainability and resistance, demonstrating that within the molecular structure itself lies perfection and balance. Extra example, ice crystals in clouds and glacier formations also follow this hexagonal pattern, highlighting how in nature the number 6 and hexagonal geometry govern everything from microscopic to macroscopic levels. Bees and their hives, engineering of efficiency. Bees, those tiny architects of nature, build hives with cells in the shape of perfect hexagons. Why hexagon? Because it is the shape that allows the use of the least amount of wax to form a strong structure with maximum storage capacity and a perfect balance between strength and efficiency. Science has proven that this geometry helps bees create extremely productive colonies in the smallest possible space. Interesting fact, the hexagonal shape is also used in the design of modern technologies such as solar panels, in the structure of electronic chips, and in cellular communication networks, because efficiency and expansion in hexagonal patterns ensure superior performance.
Flowers with 6 petals, beauty and symmetry. Several species of flowers like lilies precisely have 6 petals. This pattern, besides being visually pleasing, is related to attracting pollinators and efficient reproduction. The symmetry in these designs creates a balance that maximizes interaction with their environment, proof of the naturalness of geometry and the perfection of hexagonal patterns. The universe in shapes in 6, from galaxies to cosmic structures. Galaxies in the shape of 6, the architecture of the cosmos. In the vast universe, the shapes and patterns that emerge in the distribution of stars and galaxies seem to follow rules that look extraterrestrial at first glance. Some galaxies, owing to their rotation, gravity, and dynamics, show patterns reminiscent of a hexagon or figures related to the number 6. Notable example, the galaxy known as NGC 730 and some others in galaxy clusters display hexagonal shapes or structures that can be interpreted as configurations in 6. Furthermore, the distribution patterns of galaxies across large scales, forming filaments in superclusters, show a tendency toward rectilinear and web-like patterns that contain hexagonal elements or multiples of 6.
The greatness of the cosmos in the shape of a hexagon and cosmic structures. But there's even more. In the vastest scales of the universe, nature again shows us that geometry in the form of 6 and hexagonal patterns are not exclusive to Earth or to living cells. The very structure of the cosmos reveals patterns that appear to weave a tapestry in the shape of hexagons and lines of 6. Cosmic webs, these enormous filaments of galaxies and dark matter that connect clusters and superclusters, often have shapes that resemble network graphs with hexagonal patterns or multiples of 6. This is no coincidence. It reflects the interaction of physical laws, gravity, and the order that governs everything in the universe. Additional example, studies of the Great Wall and other superclusters reveal structures that, in their distribution, suggest lattice-like patterns similar to how hexagonal patterns organize beehives or ice crystals. Nature, on its macro scale, seems to follow a fundamental principle, the six, as a symbol of harmonious construction and balance.
The confusion of 666, evil or reflection of our search for perfection. So far, we've seen that in nature and in the cosmos, patterns in the shape of six are related to efficiency, beauty, stability, and relative perfection. But then how do we explain the perception of the number 666 as a symbol of evil? Throughout history, many cultures have associated the number 666 with the figure of the beast, chaos, and darkness. However, this is a very limited and, in truth, distorted interpretation. Origin and true meaning of 666. 666 appears for the first time in the Book of Revelation and has been historically misunderstood. Some interpretations suggest that this number symbolizes human imperfection, an incomplete path toward divine perfection. Other scholars believe it represents the imperfect nature of humanity, but also its potential and its struggle to attain harmony. In numerology, the number 6 is considered a symbol of love, family, responsibility, and harmony. When repeated 3 times, as in 666, it can indicate a deep and universal relational structure, rather than something diabolical. In fact, in Eastern cultures such as China, 6 is regarded as a very auspicious number associated with fluidity, progress, and good news.
The alternative perspective, 666, as a reflection of the search and imperfection. The number 666 can be understood as a symbol of the eternal quest for perfection, of that constant struggle to balance the forces of the universe, life, and our own aspirations. In other words, far from being a symbol of evil, it represents the cycle of growth, testing, and eventual harmonization that we all face in our existence.
The deep meaning of the number 6 in culture and life. The number 6 in all its forms and representations reveals itself as a symbol of harmony and natural order, both in the small and the great. Here are some additional examples that reinforce this idea. In music and mathematics, the musical note La in the chromatic scale is divided into relations involving multiples of 6, and in mathematics, the duodecimal system used in various cultures also relates to 6. The base 6 system, called sexagesimal, is still used in measuring time, 60 minutes per hour, 60 seconds per minute, and ancient measurement systems. History and religion. In Jewish and Christian tradition, the number 6 represents incomplete creation, the ongoing cycle, indicating a pursuit of perfection seeking eternal completeness. The story of the Lord of the Rings also uses the number 6 and its power structures, symbolizing imperfect perfection and the constant struggle of its characters.
Looking toward the future, the key lies in perception. The message that emerges from this exploration is clear. Patterns and numbers in the universe are neither inherently good nor evil. They are tools that reflect the order and beauty inherent in creation. The cultural and religious tendency to stigmatize certain numbers or symbols limits us, blinds us to the wonder of the natural and cosmic patterns that surround us. Number 6 is not a symbol of malice. It is a symbol of balance, constructive potential, and the perfection we seek in our lives and in the universe. The false perception of 666 as an evil entity is just a cultural interpretation that distorts its true essence, which is much closer to the pursuit of harmony and order amid imperfection.
The great final reflection. Discover the true meaning of 6 and the universe. By understanding how the pattern of the number 6 is intrinsically present in the very structure of the cosmos, in ice crystals, honeycombs, galaxies, star distribution, music, history, and our own lives, your perspective begins to shift. The universe is not random or chaotic. It responds to principles of geometry, harmony, and imperfect perfection. The real power lies in how we interpret these symbols. Next time you see a hexagon, a 6-petaled flower, or a galaxy in the shape of 6, remember you are observing evidence of a wondrous order that transcends appearances. The number 6 and its symbol are actually calling us to seek harmony, to accept our imperfections, and to understand that balance and beauty are in the process, the constant pursuit of a perfection that never truly ends.
What has inspired you most from this reflection? Have you seen patterns in nature or the universe that make you rethink traditional symbols and numbers? Leave your favorite examples or insights in the comments. This exploration might have helped you understand better. Remember, in the geometry of the cosmos and within ourselves, the number 6 represents much more than a symbol. It's the key to understanding universal harmony. In a world where we've been programmed to fear what we don't understand, today we learn that hexagonal patterns, numbers, and galaxies, and the entire structure of creation whisper the same truth, that perfection is not the absence of imperfection, but balance amid chaos, beauty emerging from order, and the eternal residing in all of us. The true power is in casting aside prejudices, opening our minds, and seeing the symbols and patterns around us with new eyes. Because in the simple and the infinite, in the micro and macro, we find that the number 6 and its forms are not symbols of evil, but of the magnificent harmony of the universe.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you don't miss future ideas that challenge us to think beyond. We'd love to hear your opinion in the comments below.
See you next time, and don't forget to always keep that curiosity alive, that drive progress. Also, explore even more fascinating content on our channel. From tips that change your life and cutting-edge technology to mysteries of spirituality, delicious recipes, travel across various countries, health hacks, and language learning, there's something here to spark your curiosity and elevate your life. Dive in and discover a world of knowledge waiting for you.